Russo with Bruce Aldridge. Number 3 is Moon Lake, owned by Robin DiBenedetto with Kyle DiBenedetto. Number 4 is Halsey Hanover, owned by Eckley Scott with Mike Forte. Number 5 is Camstock Lodi, owned by Ken Westerside with Jim Taggart. 6 is HST Cruiser, owned by Dominic Marusco with Billy Parker. 7 is Wake, owned by Phyllis and Mark Leibowitz with Pat Beeler. It's 4th race, post time, and the gate is moving. Paces are on the turn. Fourth race field behind the gate. Here they come. That's Fast Bill. Fast off the mark. There goes Camstock Lodi from the middle of the track. Moon Lake in between horses, parked out early 3rd. Then on the inside, Wahlberger gets away 4th. There goes Wake getting underway early from the outside 5th. Then it's Halsey Hanover 6th in the early trailer. It's HST Cruiser. Down the back stretch of the quarter, and Jim Taggart has Camstock Lodi on top by 2 1/4 lengths. They go by the quarter mile in 28 1 at the paddock turn the first time. So it's Camstock Lodi who leads it by a length. Pocket Journey for Fast Bill 2nd with Moon Lake 3rd. Wahlberger racing 4th. Wake now is dropped in 5th in front of Halsey Hanover, and HST Cruiser has full view from trail position. So they come by the stands the first time, and it is Camstock Lodi taking a big drop here in this 4-claimer non-winners over Fast Bill 2nd, Moon Lake and Wahlberger. 58 3 half mile, 30 2 second quarter for Camstock Lodi, and Jim Taggart leading it by a length. Right there in the pocket comes Fast Bill 2nd with Moon Lake 3rd. Wahlberger to the inside 4th. Wake is struggling there on the outside with Halsey Hanover. HST Cruiser behind, absolutely dull cover. Down the back stretch, it's still Camstock Lodi by a little more than a length. Fast Bill, the post-time favorite, is right on Taggart's helmet. 3/4, 129. Moving around the final turn, Camstock Lodi will try to get away from Fast Bill. Halsey Hanover on the outside 3rd. Moon Lake boxed in on the inside 4th with HST Cruiser 5th. And they're at the top of the stretch, and suddenly Camstock Lodi puts on the afterburners, and Taggart, strictly a passenger here. Camstock Lodi pacing away for fun. Fast Bill will be second best. Moon Lake 3rd. Halsey Hanover completes the super. Camstock Lodi 157 3. Number 5, Camstock Lodi, the winner. Number 2, Fast Bill was second. 3rd was number 3, Moon Lake. 4, Halsey Hanover was 4th in 157 3. Coming back to the winner's circle is Camstock Lodi. 7-year-old son of Cam's Fortune out of The Heart Goes On by Arts Place, owned by Ken Westerside, trained by Art Green, driven by Jim Taggart. Fourth race official, 5-2 Perfecta pays $8.90. Perfecta pays $8.90. Triple of 5-2-3, $22 even. The winning trifecta pays $22. Post time for the fifth is going to be in 20 minutes at 2:24. And in this race, Pat Beeler will drive number 1, Epic Defeat. The pick 3 of 715, $60. Super 5234, $116 even. Here's a rundown. 1 Wahlberger was 6, 2 Fast Bill second, 3 Moonlake third, 4 Halsey Hanover fourth, 5 Camstock Lodi the winner, 6 HST Cruiser fifth, 7 Wake was seventh. Top down, 623, 4157 on the bottom. Time for the mile, 1 minute 57 and 3/5 seconds. Okay, at this time I'm going to turn the microphone over to John Manzi. John is down in the winner's circle. We'll be waiting for the drivers to come join us for a memorial for John Gilmore. John, take it away.
Thanks, Duke. Racing fans, let's not make this a sad situation today. Sep would want everybody to be partying, and we'll talk a little bit more. They're going to bring over my buddy Chimo, his baby, and of course a lot of the guys are coming over too. And the horse will be in sulky, of course, driverless, and we hope we do justice to John, and I'm sure we will. You got your tissues ready there? All right, we're not, obviously they're not going to be warming up now, and they're going to wait till we say some words here in the winner's circle. The drivers all want to come over. We got a couple of vans to bring them over with. Appreciate all you folks coming out here too. You know, Gilmore was here in the 60s, and he spans 6 decades. And he was a good friend of mine, even though he parked me out plenty of times. But I'm not alone. He parked a lot of you guys out there, too. Here comes Chimo. Come on, let's get it in before the rain. I guess I didn't want to drive him. So we'll wait till he gets here. We can't do it without him. And the guys will be here, and we can hold up the races. It's not that big a deal. This is the big deal here today. I'm sorry that we have to do it, but nobody deserved it more than Sep. I mean, he must be hearing me now, don't he? Somewhere. You can't hear me? I could talk a little bit louder. Yeah, all right, we could do it. Hey, Arnie. Okay. As you see, family is here and friends. We got more people here today than we've had the total for the last 2 weeks here. What? I'll go back to Janet. Who's here? With the family?
This is my son. This is my sister. This is her husband. This is my mom. Yeah. That's my sister's mom. I'm Cheryl. That's Taylor. That's Michael's daughter, his brother, granddaughter Jennifer. Her husband. That's his great-grandchildren. Mark is here. Gilmore. There's Dale Gilmore. Dean.
Where's Dean here?
Dean's right there. There's Mark Gilmore. There's Dale Gilmore. There's my husband.
Come on, everybody. Gilmore's got a big family. Hey, Joe, you came up too, huh? You raced against Sepp a whole lot, Joe Rico, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. Back in the 70s, yeah, a lot.
He wouldn't give up much on the racetrack, would he?
He wouldn't give you an inch, except at the bar.
But off the racetrack, he was so congenial, wasn't he?
He was great off the racetrack, and he was great on the racetrack.
No doubt about
Yeah.
that.
I could still hear him right now going into the last turn saying, "Put the whip away, I got you."
I could tell a story when I was racing against him in the late 60s, and he was in that single shaft sulky. And the safety came off, the water hook, but only the safety strap was holding it, so that bar backed up to the horse's rump. And I was on the outside. I was going to beat him home, at least I thought he was. He had his hand on that horse's rump, keeping it off there, and I still couldn't beat him home. And he was a good man with a bad horse, too. He could drive any kind of horse. The boys are coming to pay tribute. Hey. Okay, good to see you. Let him come in the winner's circle here and make a big circle. Peter, PJ, bring him in here. What, you want to do it out here? I don't know if my microphone's that long. Well, I guess I could go. All right, we got a blanket and we got a plaque. And I will just say it wasn't planned quite this way, but we are doing it now because everybody loves Sepp. He was a real treasure here. Stand around, Jerry could get a picture. There's his buddy Chimo, his pride and joy. He owned with Arnie and a few others. You got it? Yeah, I'm not going to go way out there, Deke. Why are you so far away? We won't bite you. Going to put the blanket on him, I guess, here. You're at the finish line here. Okay. Bring him out here so we can get a picture. Get him up on the high spot. All right, I got to tell you, he's been a Monticello treasure. There's no doubt about it. I was here when he came in with brother George. In 1965, I think it was, they came up from, Buddy sent some horses up. George was in charge. Guy was with him. I guess his family knew him as Guy, but he got to be affectionately known as Sepp. You'd always say, "Howdy, Sepp," whenever he greeted somebody. He's won over 4,250 races, 4,492 races. Get it right, Manzi. And he's one of the famous Gilmore brothers, together with Bud and with Lloyd and with George. They've won over 14,500 races collectively. Everybody knew Sepp. Everybody loves Sepp. He copped his first driving title here in 1973, and over the years, from the 73 till a decade, he had won 9 titles. We had a winter and a summer meet both, and he was tough to beat. He was here, and he was the king of the hill. He set the win record 3 times for most wins in a season. Sepp was a great guy, and he was there till Zeke came around in 1984. He retired from driving in 2012. He didn't tell anybody. That's his famous quote. You see that right there? Let them see that. You guys are in the way there. Hey, Al, get those gentlemen to stand back so the camera can pan on that. The family's here. I'll let you go when my whip wears out. That's John liked the front end. He was about as fierce competitor as anyone would ever have to race against. He was downright ornery. But as soon as he come back, hung up the reins on the water hook, and he was the gentleman that he always was. Apologizing, maybe. What happened to my? There you go. Apologizing, and he was just as nice a guy as you want. He'd say, "Come on, let's go over. Let's go over to the chateau. I'll buy you a couple drinks." Sepp's life was horses. There's no doubt about it. And as you see, he has a loving family and dear friends, and all the drivers respected John Gilmore. John Guy Gilmore from Lucan, Ontario, Canada, one of the famous Gilmore brothers, and John was just simply a treasure. Alan, you got some stuff here. I don't know how far my cord will go. What do you got here? Alan Schwartz, the president of the Horsemen's Organization.
Where's Vita? Vita, come here, Vita. Vita Aiken, this award was meant to be given John when John was still here. May he rest in peace. Lifetime Achievement Award presented to John Gilmore in recognition of your outstanding career in harness racing. Monticello Horsemen's Association, July 2014. From all the horsemen that love John, this is for him.
Thank you so much. I know we appreciate it. Not really.
Vita's been with John and took care of him at the end, and they were an item for many, many decades, she tells me. And we're sure glad everybody's here. Anybody like to say a word in Sepp's behalf? But how about you, Zeke? You were quoted in the paper the other day. Come on, come up here. I know you don't like to talk. Come on, he could talk. Zeke Parker, he reigned after Sepp had his long run in the 70s. And what kind of guy was he to race against?
He was a legend. You know, like we go out there, like we got the number one horse on the horse. When he had the rail, you either had to loop him or you was getting parked.
And he wouldn't let the lead up very, very much, would he?
No, that's why I had put on the blanket.
Yeah.
My whip wears out.
And that's about basically as he was.
You know,
everybody loved him, though. He was a fierce competitor, but when he got back, he was just a pussycat, wasn't he?
Well, you know what it was? You know, he'd park me, I'd park him. I mean, when I come here in the early 80s, we'd go across the street. We left the racetrack here. We'd sit there elbow to elbow and have a drink.
That's it. That's the kind of guy Sepp was. Anybody else like to say a word in Sepp's behalf? Thanks, Zeke. You got a plaque, you got a blanket. What about you, Greg Merton? You don't want to say nothing either here. All afraid, but we're all glad you're here, and we're sorry Sepp's not. But we all have our own special memories of him, and right, Kenny? Don't we all? Michael? He parked you, too. I know that.
Who has not get parked, raise your hand.
Yeah. All right. John Gilmore, may you rest in peace. And you know, we're going to party. We're not going to mourn his passing. We're going to celebrate his life. I haven't found out the date or the place that we're going to do it yet, but I will let everybody know when we're going to do it and where it's going to be. All right? We got more. Sepp won, like I said, he won 9 titles here because in those years we had races, a fall meet and a summer meet, and we did that for 4 or 5 years. And he was tough. He was tough to beat. He had a lot of words with guys on the track because of his competitiveness, but as we talked, and as Billy said, when you got off that, let's go across and have a drink. And we used to go over to the chateau. All right, Marvin, you got anything to say? Sean, you want to say something, or Eric? You know Gilmore, didn't you? Okay.
Just want to say John was really one of the first horsemen I ever met here at Monticello Raceway. One of the greatest guys, always a smile on his face, always a laugh, no matter what adversity hit him. And the fact that everyone came out here is a great tribute to his memory. And rest in peace, my friend.
Thanks, Marvin. Okay. All right, folks, I guess we can go back. Let's go across the way and have a drink. Yeah. Well, thank you. Where's the folks? Where's the family? Where's Janet and where's Janet? Come up here, Janet. Tell me about the family that's here with you. Where is she? If she can talk.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
You're a radio announcer. This is my niece and nephew, grandniece and grandnephew. This is Mr. Manzi. He goes with a friend of mine on the radio at night. Say hi.
Hiya, honey. Where's some of the Gilmore family? Everybody's running. They're going to warm up the horses, and we'll be back. How you doing, Terry? You knew Sepp a long time.
Oh, yeah, long time. He was a good guy.
Yes, he certainly was. Hey, you raced against Gilmore for a long time, didn't you, Harold?
Too many years.
And you were looking at his colors most of the time.
You get that right.
Me too, when I was racing. No. I guess the family don't want to say, but they're all over there. And yeah. You want to say anything? Yeah. Okay. Just say that. Okay. Janet's too choked up. She says thank you to all the folks who came out here to celebrate John's life. And, of course, we all knew him as Sepp, a name that he sort of picked out of the hat. And everybody loved him. He was a Monticello treasure since 1965. And I had the pleasure of knowing him when he came here. I raced against him when I was a kid. That's what I mean. I raced against him. He got all the wins, and I got all the lasts. But we had a good time doing it. Thank you, everyone. Duke, I think we'll take it back upstairs. And, yeah, well, they're going to hold it up. This is a special occasion. His best horse ever. I'm not sure who his best horse ever was, but I know my buddy Chimo was the one he owned and loved it, yeah. He won $200,000. Michael, come up here. Tell me something about your pop. Okay. What was your dad's favorite horse? Chimo. My buddy Chimo was Sepp's favorite horse. And Arnie Waxenbaum, where are you, Arnie? Come here, you were a longtime partner. Dean Gilmore, come over here too. Come on, Dean. Tell me about Uncle Sep. You guys all afraid to talk. You'll make me make a fool of myself. How many years did you own horses?
Well, we've been partners for 37 years, and we've never missed a year in 37 years, and he was the best partner a person could ever have. He was the most honest, faithful, and trustworthy guy you'd ever want to meet on and off the racetrack.
Not on the track.
For
he
me,
was honest.
For me, he was the best.
Yeah, he was the best. For me too, and for all of us here.
I got nothing but the greatest praise for John. And we had a great relationship, and I know in the horse business that's a rare thing, but our relationship was solid like gold.
A1, okay.
You know.
Arnie Waxenbaum, Arnie owned horses 37 years with Seth. All right, I guess the boys are ambling back. And look how the rain held off. You know, somebody's looking out for us here. It rains every day with Gilmore races. Yeah. All right, Duke, I guess you can take it back. The horse is going to warm up, folks. We beg your indulgence. We run a little late, but if there was ever anybody that deserved it, it was John Guy Gilmore. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Back upstairs.